We shouldn't even do the show notes. We should just watch the Nintendo Direct and commentate on it like as if it was live.
Like Mystery Science Theater?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be fun.
We'll completely change up the makeup of the show.
Just for me.
Just for you.
Just for you.
Yes. I win again.
Yeah. I win again.
I didn't know we got to wear makeup on the show.
All right, well, let's get this started. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Controller Throwers podcast. This is podcast episode number 91 for Tuesday, February 19th, 2019. What up, everybody? I am Mike. With me, as always, is Mr. Kurt.
Hello.
And Mr. Brian.
Hello.
And Ms. Sherry.
Hi, guys.
So we're having some Skype issues. So yeah, you're not gonna see all our pretty faces.
Yeah, we're broken.
Yeah. So, but you'll still see lots of fun stuff. So,
and just to let you know, it's not just us. It seems like everybody's having Skype issues.
Yes, all the issues with the Skype-ness. But that's okay. We could still provide quality entertainment
content.
Or something.
And it's good. And it's a good thing we don't have video too, because I can make funny faces at my wife the whole time.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Like I totally am doing that right now too. By the way, you guys just can't see it. So.
Aww.
More power to you.
I know, right? I already took the pants off. The shirt's coming next too. So.
Woo!
All right, let's get into the news. So this past week, after a very, 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 very long delay, we finally got our Nintendo Direct. And people couldn't be happier that we were getting something. So there were a slew, and yes, I'm going to use that word, a slew of announcements during the Nintendo Direct this past week. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to kind of go through these as much as I can. So the first game that they announced was a sequel to Super Mario Maker, titled Super Mario Maker 2. Ooh. So yeah, a sequel to the very popular Wii U game. And also there's a 3DS version as well. But it's the game in which you create Super Mario Brothers levels based on all types of different art styles from Super Mario 1 through New Super Mario Brothers. So it was very popular, and I don't know if any of you played it, but if anything, the original Super Mario Maker showed us how evil some people could be.
Yes.
Because some of those levels were downright impossible.
Yes.
Yeah, so. I have the game, and one of my buddies have the game, and when I go to his house, he's like, "You need to play my new levels." I'm like, I'll pass. Because I know that I'll never be able to beat them. He's like, "Oh, it's so easy, though." I'm like, "No.
I beg to differ.
No, it's not. It's not easy."
Yeah.
No, but he takes pride in how difficult the levels are.
You should, though. It feels good to make something that's really hard,
It felt, yeah, absolutely. And it felt good to actually make some of these levels and then just seeing all the people that gave it thumbs up after they played it.
Yes, yeah.
So I had a lot of fun with Super Mario Maker. So I'm looking forward to Super Mario Maker 2. That comes out in June.
Yep, that's going to be a day one purchase for me.
Woo. Are we gonna? Should we camp out, Sherry?
I'm sorry?
Should we camp out?
Ooh, it's a possibility.
We get let's get the old Amiibo gang back together.
Yeah, we'll have to go to Target though.
Yep. Go ahead, Brian.
So since I don't know much outside of just you build Mario levels with graphics and details from the older games. What's the difference between, or what's the difference between part 1 and part 2, or what have they added, or have they even said anything?
They haven't said anything.
Okay.
They just showed a trailer, but rumor is that it's going to include multiplayer in some way,
Okay.
where you could have, more than one Mario or Luigi or whatever. That's a rumor.
So are there levels that are games that they did not use in the first one that they
Yes.
might be using in this one?
Yes.
Mario 2, they didn't use.
I don't
Okay.
know if that's
The
going to
graphic
be
style.
included in this, though.
I don't think so either,
So
because
far, I
Mario...
haven't seen it.
Yeah, because in Mario 2 is a different gameplay style altogether.
Right.
So,
But it looks like you're going to be able to use the Mario 3D World, which was not...
well, I think they'll use the art, like the characters and art style from Mario 3D World. I don't think you can actually do the 3D World levels. But we'll see. I don't know.
Really?
Well,
Okay.
I don't know, but it does have the cat Mario power-up.
Right, right. And that's where that's from, so...
Yep.
See.
So no, we'll find out. But it looks good.
Yes.
Another game was announced, Astral Chain, which is a new action game from Platinum Games. As part of a special police force unit in a multicultural futuristic city, players work together with a special living weapon called the Legion in a synergetic action system of battle and exploration. More details about this Nintendo Switch exclusive game will be revealed. It launches for the Switch on August 30th. That game was released towards the end, and that actually looks like really crazy. I don't know, Brian, you said you saw some information on it, right?
I just saw pictures. I didn't really read too much on like the specifics of the game. I just kind of saw some pictures of it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty cool, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about it.
Yeah, it almost looks like Bayonetta-esque.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the action and craziness. So also announced, they did a big feature on Fire Emblem Three Houses. They gave a release date, July 26th, which is a little bit later than they were expecting, but of course they needed time to perfect the game. In the game, you're going to be an instructor at a school. So when it comes to like leveling up your characters and developing relationships, it's going to be in that kind of setting. So that should be interesting. So Fire Emblem Three Houses, July 26th. They also announced another game in the Box Boy series, Box Boy and Box Girl. Welcome back, Box Boy. That's a puzzle platformer. It has a very cute charm to it. That comes out on the eShop on April 26th. They also announced a release date for Mortal Kombat 11, which is April 23rd. So there were some rumors that it was not going to make the launch, but they confirmed that Mortal Kombat 11 will be coming out on that date.
Wow.
So, Retro Game
Nice.
Brews, thank you for the host. And then they announced Captain Toad Treasure Tracker update. This one came out of nowhere. This is an update and a special episode DLC. So all courses in the game will now support 2-player co-op featuring a second Toad to explore simultaneously with a friend. And also on March 14th, new paid DLC will arrive that adds 18 new challenges to the game, including 5 new courses and new shiny crowns, which can be obtained in each course. So that's nice to see that they're still supporting Captain Toad, which essentially was a
mini game.
It was a mini game, and then it was a Wii U game, and then it was a port.
Right. I'm really actually surprised with how long this is actually its lifespan, because like we just said, it was just a mini game inside of Super Mario 3D World.
Mm-hmm.
And it really has taken off. So GG.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they showed off Tetris 99, which is a battle royale Tetris game where it pits you against 98 other people, which it just like blew everybody away. It took a lot of steam out of Apex Legends' sales, or wind out of their sales. Yeah, I'll definitely be talking more about that in what we played. But yeah, that was a big one. And best of all, it was free.
Free games, best games.
Yeah.
There you go.
So those of you who have a Switch, you have no reason not to get this.
This is true.
Yeah. Also announced, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Update version 3.0 is coming this spring, sometime before the end of April. Joker from Persona 5 will be available as a playable fighter. Also, be on the lookout for new amiibo in 2019. They showed off Snake, Simon Belmont, Squirtle, Pokemon Trainer, and Ivysaur.
Ooh.
You know, I'm all about the new amiibo.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up the other ones this past weekend.
Did you? All three?
All three.
GG.
King K.
So you
Rool.
went back into collecting all the amiibos then?
Brother, I never left. Yeah. It's yeah, no, I'm still but I'm actually I tone it down a little bit. I don't collect every single amiibo. Like they're releasing an Isabelle amiibo. I already have Isabelle from what's that?
Oh, from
Animal
Animal
Crossing the game,
The terrible game.
the board game. Yeah.
The game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that we don't speak of.
Yeah. So I don't need another Isabelle. So yeah. Also announced, this one was another surprise. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is coming to the Switch this spring, and it looks incredible.
Nice.
This game won a lot of awards, especially with the aesthetic and the sound design. So definitely keep an eye out for this one, because that's a really, really good game. Also, one of the games, Nintendo exclusives that's coming out, Daemon X Machina. Starting last Thursday, mech pilots in the making can get a free demo for Daemon X Machina called Prototype Missions. So a free demo. So by all means, go grab that demo. See if you like the game. Nintendo's also sending out some surveys to people that download the demo just to get their input so they can make the game better before its release. We got a new trailer for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order.
AKA Gauntlet.
AKA Marvel Gauntlet. You can laugh all you want. It's like Gauntlet, only better.
Yes.
Now you made me lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, now I'm raging.
I had to say it.
Yeah.
It looks so much like Gauntlet.
Yep. And so that game comes out for the Nintendo Switch this summer. They haven't given a specific date, but they did show off some cool gameplay footage and introduce Captain Marvel to the game. So that's yet another awesome Marvel character. I really hope that, like the old ones, that there's a ton of different characters to choose from in this, especially some of the more obscure ones. Like, I want to be able to play as Taskmaster, or I don't know, who's an obscure, or Slapshot.
Gold balls.
Or Gold Balls, yep. Slapstick.
They need to bring him back.
It's not Slapshot.
Slapstick.
It's Slapstick, yeah. Slapstick or
Slapstick,
Gold
yeah.
Balls or Long Shot. There we go. I knew there was somebody with shot in his name. So it's the guy that drinks a lot. And then they also announced Dragon Quest XI S Echoes. Okay, this is a long name. Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. Squirrel Girl, yep, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
So that launches for the Switch this fall. So Dragon Quest is huge. Everybody loves Dragon Quest. It's one of the pinnacle RPGs. So that's definitely one to look forward to. And speaking of Dragon Quest, we are getting a sequel to Dragon Quest Builders. So Dragon Quest Builders 2 is going to launch for the Switch on July 12th, which is...
You were playing that, weren't you?
I love Dragon Quest, the first one. Or not Dragon Quest. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders. Yeah, I played that a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. So that one's... I think I still haven't beaten that yet, so I can wait. I'll wait until I get through the first one, so... another release, another new game that was announced, Oninaka, which is another game for this coming out for the Switch. I'm not sure if it's an exclusive or not, but it's by Square Enix. To uphold the tenets of reincarnation, players must travel between the living world and the beyond to rescue lost souls from the terrible fate of becoming monsters. In battle, the souls you rescue manifest within you, granting you strength and new abilities. Launches for the Nintendo Switch this summer. Another interesting RPG. It's made by the team that made I Am Setsuna, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's what that is. And so that looks like it's going to be an interesting game as well. Oh man, I think we're only about halfway through. New Star Fox. Yeah, new Star Fox missions in Starlink Battle for Atlas. The Starlink Battle for Atlas digital update is going to come out in April and will add new Star Fox missions to the Nintendo Switch version, of course. You can play as Peppy, Falco, and Slippy to help aid the fight to take down Star Wolf's lieutenants, Andrew, Pigma, and Leon, in a series of challenging missions. Additional content released as part of the update includes new starship races, faction missions, and more. And this is interesting. I'm really happy to see that that Starlink is getting more attention. You think that
for sure.
Yeah, because like the ships, you can get them for like half off now.
What's the normal price of a ship? Do you know?
24.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like a physical ship. It's not. Yeah, you're getting an actual toy to life toy.
Right.
Oh,
like
not a real ship.
No, you can't physically fly it.
Oh, no, I just.
If only.
You can't hop in and like take it to Walgreens or something. No.
Why not?
Man, Mike, you just ruined everything for
I know,
us.
right? They could make it the size of like a Power Wheels or something.
That'd be. Oh man, can you
$3?
imagine? Can you imagine if they made a Power Wheels that looked like an R-wing?
I would buy that.
I hereby claim trademark to that design.
There you go.
Never Trustin', aka Crook. All the royalties and the monies, and I'm going to be rich.
Yes.
Yeah. PlayPod says I want to get Starlink just for Star Fox. That's why I got it.
Yep.
If it wasn't for Star Fox, I wouldn't have picked up Starlink. So.
Yep.
So yeah, so keep an eye out for that when it comes out. Rune Factory 4 Special and Rune Factory 5. The classic RPG Rune Factory 4 is being remastered for the Nintendo Switch, and it comes out this fall. So Rune Factory is kind of like, you could kind of compare it to a Stardew Valley, only with a lot more RPG elements, a lot more battling.
Okay.
And they didn't show anything off for Rune Factory 5, but it's for fans of the series. That's really exciting. One of the next announcements is a game that I don't care about, so I'm not even gonna talk about it.
You already talked about Fire Emblem.
No, not.
Uh-oh, shots fired.
Oh boy. Yeah. Anyway, so Deltarune, the next game from the creator of Undertale, is.
I was wondering why he had so much disdain for a game that's not even out yet.
is coming out for the Nintendo Switch. You can download the first chapter of Deltarune for free on the Nintendo eShop starting February 28th.
Oh my!
He's going to be in line for it, people.
I'm surprised.
Watch
download
the
this.
stream.
They showed in the trailer for Deltarune. They showed the doggo all over the place. Yeah,
Really?
and you missed it.
I did.
And they said it wasn't going to be that many doggos.
Yeah.
There was literally doggos.
There was
everywhere.
millions of doggos.
Oh man! Now I'm excited to see it.
Final Fantasy VII, one of the most popular Final Fantasy games of all time. Return to Midgard, one of the most iconic RPGs of all time, when Final Fantasy VII finds a new home on the Nintendo Switch on March 26th. So if you've never played it on the PlayStation 1 or any of the other systems that it's currently available on, you can download it on your Switch.
But is this the original, or is this the revamped one that they've been working on?
No, the revamped one hasn't even. We don't know anything about the revamped one yet.
Okay, because I was about to say, like, wow.
Yeah.
That's they have a release date for it. I was like, wow, because I had the game, but I didn't play very much of it.
Uh-huh.
So I was kind of actually waiting for the remake to pick it up and play it.
Ah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I was like never into any of the Final Fantasies, so.
Oh, that's Final Fantasy VII was
Same
a
here.
really good game though. Like it took up a ton of my time. I have fond memories of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And speaking of Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy IX is actually available for the Switch right now.
I
So
didn't care for that one.
you played it? You didn't like it that much?
I played a little bit of it, and I just couldn't get into it. The story was just too like cutesy and medieval. Like I don't know. I just wasn't a fan.
Right. I never got into it. I played 7 and 8, and I played 1 and 2, I think. So.
Okay.
Also, another surprising announcement: Dead by Daylight is coming out for the Nintendo Switch this fall. I could see how excited you are.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was reading something else. I was reading the comments in the chat.
Nah,
Oh, okay.
I can care less.
Yeah, well, that's it's a survival game where it's 4-on-1. One person plays the killer, the other 4 play the other 4 play the survivors. A lot like the Friday the 13th game. So, but that's coming out in the fall, which is interesting. Also, Assassin's Creed 3 remastered is launching for the Nintendo Switch on May 21st. Which I find is interesting because of all Assassin's Creed games, why Assassin's Creed 3? I know they did a copy for the Wii U, so I wonder if it was just easy to port it over. So, yeah. Has any of you ever played an Assassin's Creed game?
I own one. I haven't played it yet. It's on my backlog.
I played, I think, 1 or 2, and I got somewhat into it, but I'm not a big fan of the stealthy games, so it wasn't to my liking.
Okay.
I played a little bit of it. I didn't go, all out on it, but I have played a little.
Okay.
I never owned it, so I played it at my friend's house.
Okay. What else? Unravel 2. That's another game that was surprising. That's launching for the Nintendo Switch on March 22nd. So if you look at that game, that looks like a lot of fun. I think one of the other members of the Crossplay Compatible Network, they really loved Unravel 2. I forgot which one it was, but that's something to keep an eye out for. That's a puzzle platformer. If you're into racing games, Grid Autosport, that launches for the Switch this summer. So, yeah, if you like your racing games, it's not arcade, it's more realistic racing. But keep an eye out for that as it comes out this summer. Yes. And then finally, before finally, they announced a demo for Yoshi's Crafted World is available right now. So if you're interested in that game, you can go pick up that demo and see if you like it, decide if you want to pre-order it.
Oh, that's exciting. I'll have to download that because my son and I really did enjoy playing Yoshi's Woolly World, so he'll be really excited about that.
And that's funny because my son and I loved playing Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yeah.
So so keep an eye out for that one. Awesome. And then finally, the big surprise of the evening, Nintendo showed off a trailer for the remake of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2019. Very exciting. I really enjoyed Link's Awakening, one of my favorite Zelda games. Very interesting, very different. It's a very different type of overhead Zelda game, but I really like the art style in this one. It almost kind of like makes Link look like a tin toy, like a really old toy almost, I guess you could say. It's I don't know, but I was freaking out because I was very excited about it. I don't know if I'm too excited about paying full price for it.
Yeah, that's the.
So
big
you'll have to
debate.
wait till it comes to Nugget Stop And,
yeah, wait for a while.
Until it comes down to $55.99.
You could probably wait 2 days.
The thing is, though, you have to remember that a lot of Nintendo's like core franchises don't drop in price usually.
That's
Every
right.
once in a while they go on sale, maybe, but it's like maybe $5 or $10 at the most. They usually hold their value.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nintendo games don't normally go down in price.
Right.
That's true. Even the used copies are still
Right.
are still.
So
Yeah, it is odd though. It is odd how some of those games will retain their value, but other Nintendo games won't. I don't know. It's very interesting.
I don't know.
Like-
After seeing the trailer for it, I think I kind of like it. It
Yeah.
reminds me of Minish Cap, and you're right that you mentioned that before, that it looks like Minish Cap, and that's one that I did enjoy.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to that point, if you're okay with that, I mean, by all means, go right ahead. I'll probably end up paying the full price for it because it's Zelda and I got to get my Zelda fix.
Right.
But
And here, I want to interject this because someone, Tanuki in the chat was saying, don't stop complaining about not wanting to pay full price for fully developed games. It's not that. Like, I have no problem paying full price for a game that I didn't already play and own previously. I think that's where people have a hard time with justifying paying another $60 or full price for a game that you may already previously own or you've previously played. I think that's where a lot of us have issues with it. Like for myself, I never played Wind Waker. I had never had it for the GameCube, so I paid full price for it for when it came out on the Wii because it was a completely brand new game to me. So would I pay $60 for this this new Zelda game? Yes, because I actually didn't play this one. So I just kind of wanted to interject that in there. Do you guys agree?
I do actually. I agree with that 100% because if I've already played the game, it's different. There's a different feeling to it. But wasn't this one a Game Boy or Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color?
Yeah, it was a Game Boy game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. I mean, outside of just the play style. I mean, the story mode. Isn't this going to be almost like a completely new experience playing it on either a better quality color system or a TV, or I should say, I'm sorry, better quality handheld system or a TV.
Yeah, the whole thing is getting a complete
in that sense. Isn't almost in that sense then it'd be worth paying full price for a game in this sense where you're taking a Game Boy game and bringing it into this generation. I mean, that's going to be so different of a variety that it's or so different of just a game period that it's just, I don't know. To me, it's going to be a completely different experience.
That it's almost its own game. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they take a game that's that old and redo it, yeah, it's almost like buying a brand new game, even though it's the same storyline, same plot, same characters, whatever. When you take a game that, like, for example, the Wii U redid the Wind Waker, which really actually wasn't all that old. I mean, it looks pretty much the same. It's HD, but yes, it's still very similar to what we just got. So yeah, then you're kind of like grappling with yourself. Do I spend the money? Do I not?
Yeah.
So
I have a hard time.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say I have a hard time paying for games that I've already paid for, or rebuying games just because they remaster it or digitally redo it or something, but it still ends up being the same game.
Right.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends on which game it is and how old it is, I guess, and what they're doing to it.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is that you would never buy like the mini consoles that are coming out because all that it is really is the same game.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I haven't bought any of the mini consoles, because I actually still have the original working ones. So yeah, that's why I never bought any.
I don't have. I mean, I've bought the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo classics, and the biggest reason for me for buying those is to be able to say that on a bigger, nicer, newer TV. And I don't own them at all.
Okay.
But at the same time, I've bought, Resident Evil 4 times. So, I mean, things like that, I haven't paid full price for. I think the GameCube one I paid full price for, but if depending on the game, depending on the situation, I've played, like I said, I bought Resident Evil 4 for the PS4, and knowing that I've beat it 4 or 5 times, went through about half of it and stopped playing it because I got bored. So, the classics, yeah. I mean, that's to me a little different because I don't own them. I haven't played like The Legend of Zelda, and I can't even remember when. So.
Yeah, Twilight Princess.
That's a little different. No, just the original Legend of Zelda.
The original.
On the NES Classic, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I know I've replayed it sometime because I actually ended up beating it when cheat codes and like YouTube videos were actually out, so I can find my way out of the 9th or through the 9th dungeon. But
that's right. Westmost Peninsula is the key, or something like that.
Yes.
I remember that. That's engraved in my brains.
Yeah, grumble, grumble.
I use grumble, grumble daily.
I should get a shirt that says grumble, grumble.
They probably have one.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'll have to see if they have a grumble, grumble shirt.
With the piece of chicken on it.
That's right. The mutton. The
mutton leg.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what did everybody think? What did you think of some of these announcements?
A lot of them I was like, meh.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Grid, you know me, I love race simulator games. That definitely is going to be on my list. Mario Maker 2, since I have the first one, definitely on my list. Yeah. Zelda, just because I loved Minish Cap and I've never played that one, so I'm going to pick that up. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Tanuki, I'm not a Fire Emblem guy, so that is gonna be meh meh meh. I might pick up not might. I will pick up Tetris 99. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh, we can get a whole system going.
Come on,
that's what it is. That's right. It's Gauntlet, but it's even better than that. It's Infinity Gauntlet. I can't believe it took me this long to come up with that.
Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. So good. Then that's great. So then all we need to do is get Brian on board. And his silence speaks louder than anything else.
I'll tell you what. As much as I loved Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, the sole reason for me getting a Switch would probably be Ultimate Alliance 3.
No Animal Crossing?
I mean, Animal Crossing is a lot like it's a lot like Minecraft. You play it for a month, 2 months, and then you just get bored of it.
But we played it for 2 years straight on the 3DS.
Which is why I'm probably very bored of it right now, and I just I have zero interest in shaking trees and collecting bells to buy crap that I don't need.
I was going to say, you got to pull weeds too.
Yep.
It's all about them weeds, man. I love pulling those weeds.
Well, playing daily, you never really got any weeds, but
yeah,
the whole digging up dinosaur bones and trying to catch bugs and fish, it's really just kind of gotten boring to me because it's the same old thing since the original.
See, pulling weeds is kind of like fishing in Minecraft, though.
I don't fish in Minecraft either.
Oh. All right, then. Well, then.
Well, all right. Moving on, then. But yeah, that's there's some good stuff on here. I was a little bummed out that I didn't get to see any info on on Animal Crossing, and I know
Yeah.
a lot of people were hoping for a Metroid Prime trilogy to show up, but I think with the information we had that they gave us was pretty good. So
Yeah, it wasn't a
Well,
bad
I will
one.
say this: even though I don't have a Switch, and I don't know if and when I may end up getting one. I think Nintendo's doing. I think they're back in the talk for best console. I mean, they're definitely not. They're not just putting out crap. The system actually seems to be amazing, and they are not just they're not saying, "Hey, we have success. We're going to take it easy for a while." They seem like they got out the gate running, and they haven't slowed down since. So good for them.
yeah, good. Glad to hear that. So yeah, so a lot of good announcements. So we'll see. We'll have to wait probably another 3 months for their next Nintendo Direct. So what else happened last week, Kurt?
All right. So even though it just released, new Battle Royale hit Epic's Legends already has its first update. But it's a good update, and it's a good thing. In this update, the developers told their fans opinion on cheaters. Additionally, Respawn has already banned over 16,000 users that were caught cheating. That's right. Let me just say that again.
GG.
16,000 users. Okay, that's huge.
Yeah.
So, it also looks like a way to report cheaters is within the game, and it's going to be coming. We already have heard your feedback about a report feature in the game, and I'll just say it's a pretty darn good idea, says Respawn's community manager on Reddit. So that's pretty awesome, right? So, of course, another Battle Royale game means another full batch of cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Of course.
This update is pretty awesome, right? I mean, I haven't played Apex Legends. I've watched people on stream play it, and I'm like, oh, it's another PUBG, Fortnite / whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but people who are into that genre, I mean, hey, it's another awesome game. I mean, it looks good. I just I'm not into that kind of thing. So,
But it's good to hear that
oh, absolutely.
that they're taking it seriously enough to take out cheaters, because as we all know, they ruin the experience for everybody.
Absolutely. And I think that's why I don't like the Battle Royale stuff is because of the cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's
Yep.
yeah. Well, like I know I've said this story before, but all the times that I've come across cheaters when I played Halo 2 like crazy, and it just got people just so upset and frustrated and just wanting to just give up on playing the game. So
Yeah.
awesome work. So good to hear. Good to hear. I'm not sure I'm going to download the game though. Although it is free, so. But then again, I'm too deep into Tetris 99 right now, so.
And you also play Fortnite with
I
the
haven't
younger-
I haven't played Fortnite in ages.
Really?
I just watch them play, and
okay.
and get upset that I'll never be that good.
Yes.
Nice.
So. All right. So thank you, Kurt. Sherry, what is going on in the world of everyone's favorite publisher?
Well, it's not all good news this week, guys. Recently, mega publisher Activision-Blizzard told approximately 800 employees they were being laid off. The company, which is comprised of Call of Duty publisher Activision Publishing, World of Warcraft and Overwatch developer Blizzard Entertainment, Candy Crush maker King Digital, Major League Gaming, and more, did not have a bad year. In fact, it achieved record results in 2018, according to CEO Bobby Kotick. Activision made $7.5 billion in sales and $1.8 billion with a B in profit last year, but apparently that wasn't enough.
Wow.
Now the cameras are not working, so our faces are not live on the stream. So I will say, for those of you who are listening or tuning in later, we do a thing called the finger of shame.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I
you guess which finger.
Yeah.
I am slightly altering my finger by a position here, and instead of being pointed at, it's pointed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's my finger of shame this time around.
That is so messed up.
Yeah.
But not surprising. Not surprising at all.
Any reason as to why they're laying off all these people? I mean, has anything been said? I haven't actually read this story.
They got a lot of crap from people because when they had their earnings call and they talked about it, the people that they let go, I don't know exactly what they said, but they made it sound like these were not people, or they were commodities, or you know what I mean? They're just a number. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they made it sound like. That's what they made it sound like. They were very, very inhuman about it. Inhumane. I don't know, whatever the word is.
You can use.
So it's not like they're selling off games or restructuring their whole thing. They just, we don't need these people anymore, so bye. See you later.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, but also let's also not forget they had a really bad breakup a couple months ago. Remember who they broke up with?
Cher.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I know this. It's gonna kill me.
Yeah, we did.
The ones who do Call of Duty, right?
No.
Bungie.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. That's okay. So Destiny. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
One of the two.
So they broke up with Bungie. So that makes sense in terms of why they would have to do a little restructuring. But that's 800 people. That is a lot, especially
800 people worth.
Yeah, especially after you're posting that kind of a profit.
Yeah, I still don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah. It's yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Nope, still not there. I don't know. Go ahead.
So, do we know how many people they have currently, or how many they did have?
I don't know exactly how many, but there were a lot.
So, just being devil's advocate, can 800 be, I don't know, like a fingernail worth of employees
to
they
them?
have that many?
It could be, yeah. They're obviously not showing that they're struggling, but it's just another one of those, corporate decisions. That's,
Sure, but I mean, sometimes you need to trim out the fat if they're not performing.
Yeah, but sometimes the fat's the most delicious part.
Oh, we're not talking about bacon, Sherry.
This isn't foie gras.
What if it is? You don't know that.
If they're making these types of profits, they don't need to trim the fat.
Right. That's
It just seems kind of heartless, but then again, that's why I don't run a multi-billion-dollar video game publishing firm. So
this is true.
But yeah. So nothing but best wishes for those who are affected by this. Hope you find new employment soon. And actually, this brought up another interesting thing. People talking about video game developers unionizing.
Oh. With
this situation, and then the Telltale situation.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if that was part of that story, but the whole rumors about the Red Dead Redemption 2 people working 100+ hours a week.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
It seems like that's a rough industry to work in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yet there's so many people that want to get into it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm so glad to see all indies doing so well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Except for Undertale.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm joking. I give that up.
I'm gonna buy you that game.
I have it.
He has it.
I have Undertale.
No. The new game.
Oh, Delta.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to buy you the new game.
Yeah.
I'm going to strap you in a chair with your eyelids wired open and a game controller in your hand, and I'm gonna make you play it.
I will
Yeah.
gnaw my arms off.
Don't forget the IV of Mountain Dew so we can stay
Yeah,
awake.
really.
Yes.
Right?
I'll tell you what. As long as it's code red, provide code
There
red,
you go.
not the regular Mountain Dew. I need
Code
code
All
red.
right. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll be streaming that live on Twitch TV/TC Throwers.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's it for the news. There was a lot that came out this week. So speaking of things that are not a lot of coming out this week, what?
Wow.
I have no idea. That was so Brian. You're better than me at this. So Brian, what games are coming out this week?
Well, as Mike said, there is not a lot that is coming out this week. Steins Gate Elite for the PS4, Switch, and PC. Farm Together for the PS4. Anthem for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. That is all.
Yeah. Not a whole heck of a lot.
Wow.
Was not kidding about that whole not a lot thing.
Yeah. It wasn't a whole heck of a lot. So yeah, I don't know. Anthem looked interesting. You know, it looks like what Destiny 2 should have been, only in third person instead of a first person shooter. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna wait and see just at how well it does. It's an EA game. I think it'll go on sale. We'll see.
Price will drop eventually.
Yeah.
Game of the Year edition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna get it, Brian, unless you get it too. So.
You know what? All the hype around it has kind of piqued my interest, but I'm like you. I'll have to see. So we'll have to wait until we see some gameplay or we hear some other stories about it.
All right.
We all want to farm. Just do it together.
Hey, that's farm together. That's right.
Yeah, this is true.
What if there was no multiplayer in Farm Together? Farm together, but not really together.
Yeah.
Farm together, comma separately.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that I'm assuming Farm Together is an online multiplayer farming simulator game.
I believe
Well, I would
so.
hope so now.
Yeah. Because otherwise, that's just a one big tease.
Right?
Oh well. So that's all right. I get to save my money this week.
Yay.
Hooray! All right, so let's get into our retrospective. So for those of you who don't know, the retrospective is the part of the show where one of the controller throwers is assigned a retro game. Retro meaning it has to be 15 years or older, and their responsibility is to learn all about the game, to document any interesting factoids on the development, and to come back next week, talk about it. If you got a chance to play it, go ahead and play it and tell us what you thought of it. So this week it was my assignment, and I was assigned Milon's Secret Castle for the NES, which was it was an experience. I will say that. So here's the information on the game. Milon's Secret Castle, known in Japan as the Maze Suite, Milon's Great Adventure, is a 1986 action-adventure game released by Hudson Soft for the NES. It came out in Japan in November of '86, and it came out in the U.S. In the next year in 1987. So, in the game, you play as Milon, who lives in the land of Hudson, where people use music to communicate with each other. However, he does not have the ability to communicate, and he doesn't know why. He doesn't know why he cannot play music. So one day he decides to see if there's anybody else like him, and he goes to travel throughout the land of Hudson to search for other people. Before leaving, he decides to visit the queen who lives in the castle called Castle Garland. When he arrives at the castle, he finds that people are being attacked by the evil warlord Maharito from the northern region. He robs the innocent people, steals all their musical instruments, and occupies the castle. And the keeps the queen captive deep inside the castle as well. So he also unleashes his monsters, his demon monsters, to ensure that nobody stops his plans. Milon volunteers to fight Maharito and his demons and to rescue the queen, as well as the musical instruments for the people of Hudson. So in the game, you control Milon by running, jumping, and shooting bubbles for some reason. The player starts out at the bottom floor of a 4-story castle, and he has to work his way upwards through the 3 stories, a well, 2 side towers, and then to the very top. And that's where you fight the end boss. Each room in the castle contains a lot of enemies and hidden items. The bubbles that he shoots are used as weapons. If you hit soft blocks, that breaks them apart to find secret routes or secret weapons, things or secret items, cache, things like that. The only way that you can get to a boss, though, is by discovering a certain amount of secrets in the game, some of which require either sheer luck or, like most people do now, a walkthrough. The reason is because there's no. It's real. One of the reasons it was difficult is because there's no visual difference between the hidden stuff and the regular stuff. So, like in Zelda, you could always tell where you could place a bomb. You can usually tell. I think in the first Zelda didn't have that, but in like Link to the Past, you could always tell where a good place to bomb. In this game, there was nothing like that. It was just sheer luck if you found something.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yes, and throughout the entire game, the player is only given 1 life.
What?
Wow.
Just 1 life.
Why would they do that to you?
That's just mean.
Yeah.
So, like, if you die, you start all the way over from the beginning.
Well, kind of. So, when the 1 life is lost, the game is over and you have to start over. But if you hold left on the control pad while pressing start at the screen, you can start off where you left off as long as you beat the first level. That makes sense.
There was another game. There's another NES game that was the same way. I can't
Mario.
remember what it was.
It was the original Mario.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
if you got game over in Mario,
Yes.
you can hold like left and press start, and you would
I swear to
start.
God, I never knew that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
As Mike chuckles, he's like,
No.
"Oh yeah."
Says the guy who never beat that game.
No, it was Mario 2.
Oh, yeah.
I was the only one of my friends. Okay, so I got a story about that. I was the only one.
Time with Mike.
I was the only one of my friends that could beat Super Mario Brothers, and I went over to my one friend's house, and we had all the other people over, so there was like 9 people just watching me play the game, and I was literally on the last. I was in Bowser's Castle. At the very end of the game, I was in Bowser's Castle. I was making my way to Bowser. And his mom yells, "You boys, it's time to go outside!" And he lunges forward and turns off the system. Like, oh boy, I got to do this. My mom's going to kill me. And I was like, what? He's like, my mom said we had to go. I'm like, I was literally 5 seconds away from beating the game. So everybody got really mad at him.
Aww.
That's all right. I had a captivated audience, though.
Nice.
I never beat that game, and I knew that secret.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a hard game.
Yeah. So along the way, while playing the game, you can find various items. There are shops. Some shops are in plain sight. Some shops are hidden. So you have to really look around. The game, so I'm sure for those of you who have actually played it, the game has generally been considered by several gamers to be extremely difficult and frustrating. No save points, and it's so easy to get game over. Another thing that's very difficult about the game, unlike in most platform games at the time, when you're hit, you do not have like those 3 seconds of temporary invincibility, like where your character's blinking. So if an enemy just keep running into you, you're just going to keep getting hit and knocked back until you die.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
But each room in the castle has a hidden honeycomb which restores your life bar. So yeah, that's
Okay. This game sounds really weird.
it's not. It is strange. It is definitely a strange one.
And watching it on stream, it definitely looks weird.
You know
Yeah.
what it reminds me of, though? The way it looks, it kind of looks like Kid Icarus in a sense.
hmm
You
With all
know,
like the
but-
weird characters.
But a weird one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
It's definitely an odd game. So the game was released, like I said, in November of '86 in Japan. It was released on the NES in North America in September of 1988. The game was also released on the Wii Virtual Console. The game was also released on the Game Boy too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. As you could probably expect, reviews were not very favorable. GameStop gave it a 2 out of 10. IGN gave it a 4 out of 10. Nintendo Life gave it a 3 out of 10. So, yeah, at GameSpot they said this game is easily one of the worst games ever made.
Wow.
Wow.
They criticized the control scheme, saying Milon runs like his feet are greased and his jumps are easily interrupted by nearby blocks that are adjacent or directly above him. So the game, even though it got pretty negative reviews, the game still sold over 750,000 copies in Japan.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So they liked it over there, but we didn't like it, apparently.
Yeah. So that's Milon's Secret Castle. It's a very interesting game. This was a game that was requested by one of our listeners, so I'll just throw this out again. If you want to see one of your favorite retro games on the Retrospective, let us know. Tweet us at TC Throwers. We will be more than happy to add it to our Wheel of Destiny.
Yeah.
Wheel of Destiny.
Wheel of Shame.
The Wheel of yeah, our Wheel of Shame. There we go.
Yeah. Did you actually get to play this, Mike?
I did. I played it. I played it for about a half an hour, and I hated my life afterwards.
Wow. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Was it as bad as the reviews say it was?
It was worse. It was.
Watching the gameplay, it looks somewhat fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's...
I don't know. I think I'm gonna pass.
So I
think
played.
passed too.
Yeah, I played the game, and literally within the first 10 seconds, I got to a spot where I was stuck, and I had to restart the game.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got stuck. So and then I played it a second time, and then after I reset it, I played it again, and then I went into a room where there was like a long hallway, and the moment I get and I start walking down the hallway, an enemy drops down and comes rushing at me, and it's such a small hallway that I can't even jump over it. I just have to take the damage.
Huh.
Yeah, it was it was an exercise in frustration.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I had the opportunity to play it. I'm surprised I never rented this game or anything. I actually do own a copy of it, though.
You do?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I do. I do own this game. It was
Is it on the Nintendo, the little console?
No. I have the actual NES cart.
You do?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
The question I asked myself several times. No.
Get it when you were a kid, or you got it more recently?
Well, no. When I really got into retro collecting, my father-in-law said, he's like, oh, you know what? I think I have a bag of old games in my garage. So I'm like, all right, I'm coming over. And so I went over, and he takes out this garbage bag, and there's like 85 games in there.
Wow.
And so one of the games was Milon's Secret Castle.
Huh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think the hardest part about this is that you don't know like you said, like Zelda, like where the hitboxes are. So if you don't know where the hitboxes are for like any of these, it's got to be just incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like just everything's just random, and you just shooting any and everywhere. That's how you find your way through, and how you find these secrets. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fascinating game. I'll say that. So that's Milon Secret Castle. Thank you very much. Was it Killjoy for the recommendation? I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to play this game. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think that might have been sarcasm.
Yeah, it might have been. I was laying it out pretty thick. Yeah. No, I'm joking. So, all right. So now it's Kurt's turn to be punished.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Depending on what game he gets.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about this.
Yay. It's almost as fun as playing NPD, isn't it, Kurt?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. Now I'm fired.
I was like, wait. That's not coming up this week, is it?
Actually, to be honest with
Why?
you,
You always win.
yeah. I think NPD will be coming up next week.
Oh, I got plans next week, guys.
Yeah, it's play
Out of
NPD.
Again.
All right, well,
hops back on
spin
the
me a
plane.
good one.
All
Come
right.
on. Come on, Molk. Spin it good.
All right. So we added 2 games to the retrospective to the Wheel of Destiny, or the Wheel of Shame. We added Paperboy and we added Bad Dudes. So,
Paperboy.
Paperboy, yep. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna give it. We'll give it a spin, and we'll see where it lands, and all that other good stuff.
All right, like triple click it.
I
Tommy
like.
Chong. Sorry, Tommy Chong. I kind of like that. Thank you.
And
Oh. Okay.
All
right. I'll take this one.
This is
nice.
Is this the game that you put on the
It is.
on the wheel?
It is a game that I put on a wheel. And it is
Nice.
a game that I played a lot of.
Yep.
So I'm good with this one.
Awesome. So Kurt's game is going to be Adventures of Lolo, also for the NES.
Yes.
Awesome. Hooray!
Hooray.
All right. So good. So let's get into what we're playing. So who wants to go first on what we're playing?
Me.
Okay. Are you serious?
All right then, Terry.
I played something this week, you guys.
Oh,
I
what?
broke my dry spell. Yay!
I'm
I bet
happy.
you'll never guess what it was.
Minecraft.
It was Minecraft.
Ooh, yeah.
Of course it was Minecraft. Yeah, so I broke my dry spell, like I said, and jumped back into Minecraft. Kurt and I have actually been playing the new Snapshot, which is, I forgot what it is, 19W07. I don't know what it's called, but whatever. They have introduced foxes as a new mob, so I had to see what that was all about, and they're pretty awesome. Another awesome thing that they're introducing to the game is campfires, and I really, really, really enjoy campfires. I think they're really cool and very useful. Berries. Berries are now found on bushes in the taiga, and you can pick them and eat them to, sustain your health, or you can feed them to the foxes, and they kind of like you after that. They're a little skittish. Let's see what else. Oh, Kurt and I were just derping around in this new seed, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a villager comes walking up to us, and he's dragging 2 llamas behind him, and we're like, what is this? So apparently a traveling villager is now a thing, and he's like decked out in like Sherpa gear, and he's got 2 llamas on leads behind him that are dressed just like him, and they're just wandering around, I guess, and you can trade with them. So that's kind of cool.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it was so cool. We decided to kill him and steal his llamas because we're good people,
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I took his llama and I built a fence around it, and it's by my house. And at night, when, all the bad, mobs come out, like the zombies, the llama spits at the zombies and kills them.
Oh.
So llamas are essentially now security for your house. So yeah, there's a lot of new things going on, which is really exciting. I still feel like there's stuff that I have to explore with the last update, the aquatic update that came out. So I'm really excited for this next update, this Village and Pillage update with all the villagers all having these new outfits and roles and stuff, and the pillagers. I'm excited to see when they raid a town. I can't wait to be part of that. Kurt and I did try to... We did try to break into a pillager stronghold or whatever you want to call it the other day, and it did not go well. We also didn't have armor or weapons, but that's besides the point. It didn't go well. But there's a lot going on now with this new update that's going to be coming out. I am really excited to get into it. So yeah, Minecraft is definitely going to be what I'm going to be playing a lot of. I do want to pick up The Last of Us, or not The Last of Us, The Last Guardian again and finish that, and Red Dead. So, it's just kind of, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've been playing Minecraft.
All right. And speaking of Minecraft, Kurt, what have you been playing?
Okay. All right.
He didn't play anything this week.
I really didn't. Other than Minecraft. Yeah, so everything that Sherry said, but okay, story time with Kurt. So this pillager thing that we found. So we go out there, no armor, no nothing. We're like YOLO, right?
Yeah, literally.
Like serious Leroy Jenkins. I mean, we just let's go. So they respawn.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's not like, okay, well, you have 3 there and that's it. No, they respawn.
Yeah.
So if you kind of lure some of them away, more will respawn.
Yeah, and they have crossbows.
Yeah.
And they hurt.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So I'm literally running circles around their little temple thing. And the words that came out of Sherry's mouth, I can't say it in the podcast, but it was, oh, bleep, there's 80 of them chasing you.
Yeah,
I would make it.
So many.
Because I would make it to the back side of their little hut thing, and more would spawn on the front side. So as I'm running around, they're chasing me, but more are spawning on the opposite side that I'm on. So like literally, I had a horde of them following me, and I wish I would have been able to see it from Sherry's view, because like seriously, she's like there's like 80 of them following you. I'm like, I know. And then I quickly ducked into this like little tent, and the one tent that I ducked into the first time had an entrance and an exit on either side. Well, the entrance, the hut that I went into, or tent I went to, it only had an entrance, had no exit. So then all of a sudden, like 80 of these villagers or these pillagers come in, and I could not see anything. It was, and I'm sitting there like with my little like stone sword, like kind of like slashing them. All that I see is like a brown blob and an occasional red from one getting hurt. Yeah, so that was my excitement. Outside of that, don't know if I really played anything else. I've been working on my bathroom and stuff, so I don't think I had.
Oh, Bathroom Repair Simulator 2000.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I played. So I don't think there's any other games other than that. And the only reason why I did play that game is because Sherry actually messaged me saying, "Hey, let's get on some Minecraft." I'm like,
Yeah, let's play the new Snapshot.
I'm like, all right.
Well,
Because foxes.
yeah.
Because that's what she said. She said, I need to play this because foxes.
Yeah.
So, and about the foxes, you're able to breed the foxes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you breed the foxes, one of the little babies don't necessarily run away from you. So
they're not tame, but they don't hate you.
No. So basically what I did is I just punched a hole in the ground and caught 2 foxes.
Yeah. We're still kind of working with it.
Make a baby.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Kurt. Brian, what have you played?
Well, I, like these two, played just a little bit of Minecraft. I mean, nowhere near as much as they did. Literally just kind of playing a little bit, just walking around, kind of seeing what the new updates are, what there is. Nothing too exciting. Mostly, I'm still playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, the biggest thing that I was doing, I'm still working on those stupid challenges, but I am up to 63 out of 90.
Wow, look at you!
Yes, I completed the Bandit challenge, which turned me into the biggest jerk in the game.
Huh.
So playing with Mike, I could not figure out why I had a $10 bounty and I had bounty hunters chasing after me. But then I realized my honor level was almost down to 0, down to like all the way in the red. So then I decided, well, there's a trophy in the game to have a $250 bounty in every state, I guess they are, and survive for 3 days. So I decided, I have that in about 2 of them already, so I'm going to give this a try. And I got onto my third one. I think there's 4 of them. So I got the third one, and I'm just kind of saying, okay, if I can survive 1 day in this, then I think I can do it. Survived a day, and I was going to my second day, and a posse caught up to me. Yeah, there's like they like picture if you've played Grand Theft Auto and you have a 5-star wanted. I mean, there's like a whole gang of people. I mean, there was probably 10 people. They had dogs.
Oh wow.
And I was like, okay, I am not surviving this. So I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done being evil. I'm done being bad because I just don't want to be bad anymore. So I literally had to pay, I think, about almost $1,000 in bounties to make myself. Yes, I was kind of mad because
That's a lot of money.
I got rid of all my money. I mean, it wasn't quite that much. It was probably about 800.
Wow.
Yes. And to top it all off too, I bought one of the nicer horses.
Uh-huh.
So I figured, hey, why not have 2 of them? Those are $1,000, and
Oh wow.
it was killed. and I could not revive it in time because I died as well. So I literally spent $1,000 on a horse, had it for about 5 minutes, and
that's horrible.
Died and lost it. Yes.
Oh, boy.
So I've decided to give up being evil in the game.
Well, good for you that you're turning a new leaf.
Oh, so you're going to be a
Yes.
good cowboy instead of a bad cowboy.
Well, yes.
So this week's episode is called "Brian is a Good Cowboy."
Yes, since I've beaten the bandit achievement or the bandit challenges, I really have no reason to be bad anymore. So I am going to be good from now on.
Good for you.
Okay.
And I did walk through Saint Denis and literally just said hi to every single person that I saw. It was kind of annoying. I was very annoyed by it. Yes.
I still have not figured out what button is to say hello. I usually end up shooting my horse or punching in the air.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yep. Cool. Did you play anything else, Brock?
Nope, that's it.
All right. All right. So I played. So I of course played more Red Dead because part of my 2019 resolution is to finish a game before I get into a new one. And I made a mistake of picking Red Dead as that first game.
Oh,
And I'm almost at the point where I'm like, all right, I'm ready to take a break from this. Because I'm really far in the story, but I know there's a really long way to go. I even took a little break, and I did as Brian recommended, and I went to Valentine to do the mission where the two brothers are both trying to woo the same lady. He's like, you got to go into Valentine and do that. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. I only did the first one, where they're trying to test their bravery. So I think there's another one coming up after that soon.
There's 3 or 4 of them, yeah, but they're all they get better as they go along because the brothers get a little bit more desperate, if you will.
Okay, yeah. All right.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole mission had me just cracking up when I met these guys. I'm like, oh, here we go. What are they going to do next?
Yeah. It's it's interesting. I think I'm about halfway through right now, which is insane. The amount of content in that game. It's insane.
Wow.
So I played that, and then I also played Evoland Legendary Edition on the Nintendo Switch, which you'll see a review of that game on GamerheadsPodcast.com.
Nice.
It includes Evoland and Evoland 2, and these games are so interesting. The first one, Evoland, is literally, and I think I said this in the last podcast, it's literally a trip through time in terms of the history of video games. When you start off, it looks like a Game Boy game, and then the more treasure chests you open, the more the graphics and everything change. And then eventually you get to it where it looks like Final Fantasy VII.
That's crazy.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yes. And so I played and I beat that game. So that was a lot of fun. So that one only took me like 2.5 hours to beat, which wasn't too bad. You know, it's for the contents I got, it was pretty good. Then I got into Evoland 2, which was included in the package. And Evoland 2 was like an evolution of Evoland 1. In Evoland 2, it plays like a 16-bit RPG, like a Chrono Trigger or Link to the Past type game. But there's parts in the game where you go back in time in the story, but then the graphics also go back in time. So you're playing it like it's an NES game.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun with that, and I would definitely recommend picking it up. It's a very interesting game, especially if you are like us and you like kind of lived through the evolution of video games from what it was into what it is now.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. I can't wait. I would like to see you stream it possibly. I think that would be really fun to watch.
I should. Yeah, I really should. It really is interesting. So I played that, and I played nonstop, staying up till 11:30 at night when I'm supposed to go to bed at 9:30. Tetris 99. Oh Lord, was Tetris 99 addictive? Addicting. Oh man, I just can't get it up. I actually came in 4th place again yesterday.
Nice. I was just going to ask you, what's your best so far?
Yeah, my best is 4th place.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
it is.
In Tetris 99, it's you against 98 other people in a game of Tetris, and you can choose like who to attack if you want. So you can see everyone else's screen, but they're really small. But you can tell if somebody's having trouble. So like if I see somebody's having trouble, I'll jump on, I'll attack their screen so that we can knock them out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but honestly, especially for a free game, I implore Kurt. I know that it's your kid's Switch, but just ground them for no reason and say, "I'm taking your Switch away," and then just download Tetris 99 and play it.
That's a damn good idea.
Yeah.
That's the perk of being a parent, right?
Yeah.
You can do stuff like that.
Exactly. So, so I played Tetris 99, and I played Evoland Legendary Edition, and I played Grand Theft Horseface. And the last thing, I'm surprised Kurt didn't mention this, I played a lot of classic arcade games.
Oh, yeah.
We had the privilege of hosting some listeners of the show, some people we met through the show, Jess and Ramu77. They came out to Chicago all the way from Canada to pay a visit, and we took them to
previously Australia
New
and
Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yep. And we took them to the Galloping Ghost, which is an arcade out in Brookfield, Illinois.
The largest arcade in the world, I think.
Yep. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing too hard. I'm watching these Red Dead Redemption bloopers.
Yeah, I know these videos are hilarious.
I'm glad. I've been trying to hold it in for a while.
I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in.
No, I kept muting myself.
All right, well, you go ahead
Yeah.
and mute your mic.
So anyways.
I'll continue with what Mike played today.
No, I'm okay. I just looked away. So we went to the Galloping Ghost and we got to play all these awesome arcade games. I was in Tetris mode, so I played Tetris at the arcade. I know all these arcade games, and I play Tetris. The cool thing is Ramu77, his knowledge of R-Type was unlike anything I've ever seen in my life.
Oh God, this, like, seriously, it's almost like he programmed the game.
Wow.
He is giving a running commentary as he's playing R-Type all right, so now this is going to come from this area, and now this is going to happen, and you got to make sure you do this. And it was like an episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns and Smithers like slowly turn and look at each other. That's like what Kurt and I did, and we're like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Wow.
And the thing is that his partner Jess didn't even realize how much information he had on this game. Like she was
really?
like she actually was like, I'm floored by the amount of information that he had.
Wow. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's just so we played. Unfortunately, Sherry, and this is going to break your heart. Unfortunately, Chiller was broken.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not working at the time, so it was borked.
No. Poor
yeah.
Chiller.
Yep. So
Did it break your heart? I thought that was that's your game.
It did because they didn't get a chance to play it then because it was so.
It was.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
But so I played that. I played, just a bunch. They have over 600 arcade games there.
Yeah,
The place is insane.
Way over.
And they just did another. They just did another expansion.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, I'm so jealous.
Brian, you should see it now. Like how big it is, how big the place is now. And we drove past
where are they putting all this stuff?
They just bought all the stores next to it and just knocked down the walls.
So
Okay.
if you could imagine, if you remember, there was the little arcade, and then there was all the stuff to the right of it, which was all businesses, and then
Right.
there was the Chinese place to the left, right?
Right.
Which was very tiny.
Right.
They own everything but the Chinese place.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're definitely expanding. So if you're ever in the Chicagoland area, definitely hit up the Galloping Ghost. And
I'm looking for it. I want to find time to go back. I definitely love that place when I was last there. So.
Yeah. And then we took them and got them some Giordano's pizza, and they were just absolutely blown away by it. So that was fun too.
Yeah.
Chicago style deep dish, gotta love it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. And then after that, so not only did their eyes like go wide open with the deep dish, after they were done eating that, we took them to Portillo's and got them a chocolate cake shake.
Yep.
Yep.
For dessert.
And I'm pretty sure they didn't sleep that night.
Hey, it's a Chicago staple. You
Yep.
know, you got to do it.
Yep. So that's everything I played.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and that just about does it for this week's episode of the Controller Throwers podcast. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching and listening. Be sure to check us out on the social medias. You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/TCThrowers. We are also at Twitter. You could send us a tweet at TC Throwers. That's at T as in Tom, C as in Charlie, Throwers as in throwing things. You could also send us an email, thecontrollerthrowers@gmail.com. You could find us every Tuesday night on twitch.tv/TCThrowers while we stream the podcast. If not, you can always download the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and at gamerheadspodcast.com, of which we are proud to be members of the Gamerheads Network, as well as the Crossplay Compatible Network. So be sure to check those out. They've got a lot of good shows that you should listen to. So until next week, everybody, we hope you enjoyed the show. Until then, play some games, have some fun. We'll see y'all next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Later.